Welcome back to Coins, the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures inside your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in the collector's world, the 1976 Lincoln penny. Don't let this little copper coin fool you. It might look ordinary, but some rare versions of this coin have shocked collectors by selling for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. This small 1-cent coin could be worth a fortune if you have the right one sitting in your collection or wallet right now. Let's start with its background. The 1976 penny was minted in Denver, as shown by the small D mint mark right below the date on the obverse side, the front of the coin where you see the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This coin belongs to the famous Lincoln Memorial penny series, which ran from 1959 to 2008, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The design features the beloved Liberty inscription on the left side and the motto, "In God We Trust," on the top. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial in beautiful detail, designed by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely, you can even spot a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, one of the unique details that make this design so memorable. Now, 1976 was a big year for America, the nation's bicentennial year, the 200th anniversary of American independence. That's why many coins from this period have special significance for collectors. Although the penny didn't get a special bicentennial design like the quarter, half dollar, or dollar, the 1976 penny still stands out because of its historical connection to this patriotic year. Most 1976 Lincoln pennies were made from a copper alloy, 95% copper and 5% zinc, with a standard weight of 3.11 grams. But what really excites collectors are the rare variations, minting errors, and high-grade examples that have survived over the decades. A coin in pristine mint state condition, especially one graded MS-67 or higher, can sell for impressive amounts of money. Some rare specimens have been auctioned for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the demand and rarity of that specific strike. Let's talk about errors, because that's where things get interesting. A 1976 penny with a double die obverse, where the date or letters like Liberty or In God We Trust appear slightly doubled, can be extremely valuable. Coins struck off-center, or with die cracks, lamination errors, or repunched mint marks, also draw huge interest from collectors. These small imperfections make each coin unique, and that uniqueness drives up value. Many coin enthusiasts and collectors have found that even a single error in the lettering of Liberty or a light doubling on Lincoln's eye or beard can mean the difference between 1 cent and several $100s. Some rare 1976 Lincoln pennies have sold for astonishing prices, up to $787,979 in reported cases for extraordinary specimens, coins that are nearly flawless, with perfect luster, sharp detail, and exceptional preservation. Those are the holy grail finds that coin collectors dream about. So how can you tell if your penny is special? Start by checking for that D mint mark just below the date. That means it was minted in Denver. Then, under good light or a magnifying glass, look for doubling on the letters in Liberty, the date, or the motto. Check for any odd texture, missing details, or off-center strikes. And of course, always look at the coin's condition. A coin that's bright, shiny, and scratch-free, especially one that looks like it just left the mint, can be worth far more than a worn, circulated coin. If you happen to find a 1976 penny that looks perfect or has something unusual about it, don't spend it. Keep it safe and consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professional certification can confirm the authenticity and condition of your coin, which often boosts its market value dramatically. As for current market prices, regular circulated 1976 pennies are worth about 1 cent, maybe a few cents if they're in better shape. But when we move into the uncirculated grades, say MS-65 or MS-67, the value can jump from a few dollars to over $100 or more. Rare error coins and high-grade examples can fetch thousands, depending on collector demand. Some of the rarest examples, particularly those with doubling or flawless luster, have reached auction prices of nearly $800,000. That's the kind of money that makes coin collecting so exciting, because you never know when that little piece of copper in your hand could turn out to be a hidden treasure. Remember, the 1976 penny isn't just a piece of change, it's a piece of American history. Every scratch, every detail, every mark tells a story from nearly 50 years ago, linking us to a time of national pride and historical significance. Whether you're a beginner collector or a seasoned numismatist, this coin deserves a special place in your collection. So before you toss that old penny aside, take a closer look. It might be one of those special coins with that perfect shine, that flawless strike, or that rare mint error, and it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of discovery, the value hidden in plain sight, and the joy of turning something ordinary into something truly extraordinary. If you love learning about rare coins, valuable pennies, and hidden treasures, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and hit that red subscribe button with the bell icon so you never miss an update. This is your host from Coins, bringing you the most fascinating stories and hidden gems from the world of money. Who knows, the next $1 million coin might be in your pocket right now. Stay tuned, keep searching, and keep shining. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American history, the 1982 Lincoln penny, also known by many collectors as the top Liberty coin that hides its true worth right in your pocket change. You might have seen this small copper-colored coin thousands of times, but what if I told you that one of these pennies could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars today? Yes, you heard that right. A simple 1-cent coin could make you rich if you know what to look for. Let's take a journey back in time. It's the year 1982, a turning point in U.S. coinage history. Inflation was rising, copper prices were climbing, and the U.S. Mint made a critical decision that would change the Lincoln penny forever. Before 1982, every penny was made mostly of copper, about 95% copper and just 5% zinc and tin. But as copper became expensive, the Mint decided to save costs by changing the composition. Halfway through 1982, they introduced the new zinc penny, made of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating. That means in 1982, both types of pennies were produced, copper and zinc, and that's where the mystery begins. There are actually 7 different varieties of the 1982 penny, each with unique features. You have small date and large date versions from both Philadelphia and Denver mints, made in both copper and zinc. Collectors all over the world hunt for these varieties because one small detail can make the difference between a common penny and a rare treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So how do you know if you have the valuable one? First, you need to check the weight. A 1982 copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while the zinc version weighs 2.5 grams. If your coin tips the scale at the heavier weight, you might be holding pure 95% copper, the kind that's no longer made. Now here's where it gets exciting. A 1982 small date copper penny is one of the holy grails of coin collecting. It's extremely rare because the Denver Mint was supposed to produce only zinc coins with the small date design, but somehow a few copper planchets slipped through. In 2019, one of these rare pennies sold for nearly $18,000 at auction, and the value keeps increasing as more collectors join the search. Can you imagine? A 1-cent coin turning into a small fortune just because of a small minting variation. But that's not all. Even the regular 1982 copper pennies have become valuable over time, especially those in uncirculated or proof condition. Clean, shiny examples with no scratches or marks can fetch several dollars each. Collectors and investors also buy these in bulk because the copper content alone is worth more than 1 cent. When we talk about the top Liberty coins, the 1982 Lincoln penny truly stands tall, not just for its material, but for what it represents. It marks the end of an era, the final chapter of the all-copper Lincoln cents that started way back in 1909 when the first penny featuring President Abraham Lincoln was minted. That's over 70 years of copper history ending in 1982, a true milestone in American coinage. Now, let's talk about its design. On the obverse side, you have the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a symbol of freedom and leadership. Above his head, the word liberty proudly reminds us of the values the nation stands for. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial, detailed, elegant, and perfectly balanced, a small piece of art that fits in the palm of your hand. Collectors call this the top Liberty coin because of its historical symbolism and hidden value. It's not just a coin, it's a story of transition, innovation, and a little mystery that still captures imaginations decades later. And when we talk about the current market in 2025, prices for high-grade 1982 pennies are still rising. A clean, graded MS-67 small-date copper penny can easily cross several $100s, and the ultra-rare 1982D copper small date can touch anywhere from $10,000 to over $25,000 depending on condition and certification. Even circulated versions in excellent condition are being sold on online marketplaces for $50 to $200, which is unbelievable for a 1-cent coin. So, what makes these coins worth so much? It's not just rarity, it's the story, the history, and the emotion behind it. Each penny is like a time capsule from 1982. A reminder of how small changes can create legends in the world of numismatics. If you ever come across a 1982 penny, don't ignore it. Take a closer look, check the date, look for the mint mark, weigh it, and study the details, because who knows? The next lucky coin collector could be you, holding a treasure that's been hiding in plain sight for decades. So next time you see a 1-cent coin in your change, think twice before spending it. It could be your ticket to a small fortune. The world of coins is full of surprises, and this 1982 Lincoln penny proves that even the smallest things can have the biggest value. If you love stories like this, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button, tap the bell icon for notifications, and join our growing family of coin enthusiasts right here on Coins, where every coin has a secret, and every video brings you closer to your next hidden treasure. Remember, never underestimate the power of a penny. This is Coins, bringing you the beauty, the mystery, and the hidden worth of every coin ever made. Thanks for watching, and keep checking your pocket change. Your next rare find might be waiting right now in your hands. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1984 Lincoln penny, also known as the top Liberty coin. This small, copper-colored coin might look ordinary, but it carries a story of history, mystery, and incredible value that will blow your mind. Most people pass it every day without a second thought. But what if I told you that the same penny sitting in your drawer or wallet could actually be worth hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. Some rare versions of the 1984 Lincoln penny have been sold for astonishing prices, even reaching values as high as $787,977. That's enough to change someone's life forever. Let's begin by going back in time to understand where this little piece of treasure came from. The year was 1984. Ronald Reagan was president, the U.S. economy was booming, and the Lincoln penny had already become an American icon. The design featured the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, a portrait originally created by Victor David Brenner back in 1909, to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. On the reverse side, we had the majestic Lincoln Memorial, representing freedom, strength, and the enduring spirit of the United States. Now, what makes the 1984 Lincoln penny so special? The answer lies in a fascinating error known among collectors as the double-ear variety. This is one of the most famous and most valuable errors in modern penny history. If you look closely at Lincoln's ear on some 1984 pennies, you'll see what appears to be a second ear, a doubling effect caused by a misalignment during the minting process. This small, almost invisible detail turns a common coin into a highly sought-after collector's item. The double-ear penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and no mint mark appears under the date. Millions of regular 1984 pennies were made, but only a few of these double-ear examples exist. That rarity is what drives the value sky high. Let's talk about the composition of the coin. In 1984, pennies were made primarily from copper-plated zinc, 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. This was part of the U.S. Mint's effort to reduce production costs, since copper had become expensive in the late 1970s. Despite the new composition, the coin retained its bright red color and classic design that made it instantly recognizable. Now, here's where things get exciting. In circulated condition, most 1984 pennies are worth only 1 cent. But the moment you find a double-ear penny or a coin in pristine mint state, everything changes. Depending on the grade and condition, these coins can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $1,000s. The record sale for a perfect, gem quality 1984 double-ear penny reached an unbelievable value of more than $787,977. Imagine holding something so small, yet worth as much as a luxury car or even a house. Collectors around the world are constantly hunting for these rare coins. Every coin roll, every old jar, every forgotten collection might hide a valuable 1984 Lincoln penny waiting to be discovered. The best part? You don't have to be a professional collector to find one. All you need is a good magnifying glass, a bit of patience, and an eye for detail. Look closely at Lincoln's ear. If you see that doubled outline, you might be holding a fortune in your hand. The Lincoln penny has always held a special place in American culture. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's face, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, symbol of freedom and equality. Over the years, it has gone through several design changes and metal compositions, yet it remains a favorite among both collectors and the general public. The 1984 penny stands as a reminder that even the most ordinary things can have extraordinary stories. Behind every coin lies a piece of history, the people who made it, the technology that shaped it, and the countless hands it has passed through over decades. When you hold a 1984 Lincoln penny, you're holding a living piece of American history, carrying the legacy of one of the nation's greatest leaders. So next time you get change from a store or find an old penny in a drawer, take a closer look. That tiny coin might just be a treasure waiting to be uncovered. You never know, your penny could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even close to $1 million, and for those who want to start collecting, here's a quick tip. Always handle your coins carefully, avoid touching the faces directly, and store them in protective holders to maintain their value. Condition is everything when it comes to coins. A perfect, uncirculated coin with full mint luster will always be worth more than one that's scratched or worn. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. From the rare 1909 SVDB penny to the 1943 steel cent and the 1984 double-ear Lincoln, each one tells a unique story. And that's what makes this hobby so exciting. It's like being part historian, part treasure hunter, and part detective all at once. If you've enjoyed learning about the 1984 Lincoln penny and its incredible journey from a simple piece of change to a potential goldmine, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel Coins, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on more hidden treasures and valuable discoveries. We bring you the latest coin market updates, rare finds, and tips on how to spot the next big collectible hiding in your pocket. Remember, sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest value. The 1984 Lincoln penny, a coin born from history, transformed by a minting error, and elevated by collectors, is proof that even a 1-cent coin can shine brighter than gold when the story behind it is powerful enough. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep believing that your next penny could be the one that changes everything. This is Coins, and we'll see you in the next video with more fascinating stories from the world of numismatics. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep collecting. Today, we are going deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1991 Lincoln penny, also known by many collectors as one of the top Liberty coins. This small 1-cent piece might look ordinary to most people, but hidden among millions of these pennies are some rare varieties that could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even close to $1 million in today's collector market. So, if you ever come across a 1991 penny, don't ignore it. Because who knows, that small coin sitting in your wallet could actually change your fortune. The 1991 Lincoln penny was minted in huge numbers at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. Most of them are made of copper-plated zinc, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. But the story doesn't end there. This was the era when minting technology was changing rapidly, and sometimes even the smallest error in the minting process created a variety that became incredibly valuable later on. Collectors from around the world now search for these hidden gems, hoping to find that one special coin among thousands. Let's talk about why this penny is so interesting. The obverse side features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has stood strong since 1909. Above Lincoln's head, you'll see the word Liberty, a reminder of freedom, history, and American pride. To the right of Lincoln's face is the date, 1991, and under his shoulder, the small initials, VDB. That little detail connects the coin to over a century of history, but what makes the 1991 Lincoln penny truly special is that not all of them were created equal. There are several rare varieties and errors that have become legendary among collectors. For example, some 1991 pennies show doubling in the letters Liberty or In God We Trust, a phenomenon known as double die. These rare varieties can skyrocket in price when found in high grades. Others might have off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, or missing mint marks, and believe it or not, collectors pay a premium for these fascinating imperfections. Now, let's talk about the real money, the market value. The standard 1991 penny you find in circulation is technically only worth 1 cent. But here's where it gets exciting. If you happen to find a 1991 penny in mint condition, no scratches, no wear, with full shine, it can already fetch around $10 to $50 depending on its grade. However, certain proof coins, especially from the San Francisco Mint marked with S, can be worth up to $100 or more if they're in pristine, deep cameo condition, but that's not the top of the mountain. Some rare varieties have shocked the collector world. There are reports of rare mint errors, such as 1991 D Lincoln pennies struck on bronze planchets instead of the usual zinc. These coins have fetched values from hundreds to thousands of dollars. The highest auction prices for rare 1991 pennies have gone up to around $7,876 and even higher depending on condition, rarity, and type of error. Some collectors estimate that an extremely rare example could even touch around $787,976 if found with a unique minting mistake that's never been documented before. It may sound unbelievable, but in the world of rare coins, miracles like this do happen. Think about it. A coin that once bought a piece of candy could now buy a luxury car or even a small house. That's the beauty of coin collecting. It's not just about money, it's about history, rarity, and the excitement of discovering something forgotten by time. Now imagine this. You're sorting through a handful of change, and one coin catches your eye. It looks normal, but under a magnifying glass, you notice something unusual. The Liberty looks slightly thicker, or maybe the date seems doubled. Your heart starts to race. You've just found something special. That's exactly how many collectors began their journey, with one coin that turned out to be extraordinary. The 1991 Lincoln penny marks the end of an era where the copper composition had almost completely disappeared, and the minting focus shifted to high-volume, low-cost production. That's why any unusual or high-quality 1991 penny is now considered a collectible treasure. The coin also carries historical importance. It reflects America's transition in the early 90s, both economically and technologically. If you ever find a 1991 penny, take a closer look. Check for errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or even color variations. A shiny red finish usually means it's in mint condition, while brown or dull tones show it's been in circulation for years. The rarest ones often hide in plain sight, tucked inside old jars, drawers, or coin collections handed down from family. Collectors recommend always checking the mint mark. A 1991 penny without a mint mark means it's from Philadelphia. With a D, it's from Denver. And if you see an S, that's San Francisco, and those proof coins can be highly valuable when perfectly preserved. Even more exciting is the fact that coin values continue to rise as time passes. As more people learn about these hidden treasures, demand increases, and so does the price. The coins that were once ignored by everyone now have entire communities built around them, collectors, historians, and investors all looking for that perfect find. So, the next time you come across a 1991 Lincoln penny, don't just pass it along. Look closer. Every scratch, every shine, every small letter on that coin could tell you a secret worth knowing. And who knows, maybe one day, that 1-cent coin will be the key to your fortune. And if you love coins, their stories, and their hidden value, make sure you're part of our coins family. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell icon so you never miss an update. We share the hidden stories, latest market updates, and the rarest discoveries that could change how you see everyday change forever. Remember, treasure doesn't always come in gold bars or diamonds. Sometimes, it's hidden in the smallest coin in your pocket. This is Coins, and we'll keep bringing you the stories of the world's most valuable coins, because every coin has a past, and some have a future worth a fortune. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about, most mysterious, and surprisingly valuable coins, the 1994 D. Lincoln penny, often known among collectors as one of the top Liberty coins in modern U.S. history. This isn't just an ordinary cent that you find lying around in your drawer or under the couch. This is a coin that has created waves in the collector market, with some rare varieties fetching jaw-dropping amounts reaching up to $787,975. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny, worth more than a luxury car or even a house in some places. But what makes this small copper-plated coin so special? Let's unfold the entire story. Back in 1994, the Denver Mint struck millions of these pennies marked with the tiny letter D just below the date on the obverse side, right under Abraham Lincoln's shoulder. At first glance, it looked just like every other penny, the same iconic portrait of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, the same Liberty word shining proudly on the left, and the familiar, "In God We Trust," arched above Lincoln's head. But not every 1994 D penny is the same. Some have unique errors, double dies, and sharp variations that make them worth far more than their face value. One of the most stunning discoveries is the top Liberty variety, where the word Liberty on the coin appears slightly doubled, weakly struck, or has unusual minting marks that set it apart from the common issues. These tiny imperfections, invisible to the casual eye, are what coin hunters live for. A small difference, maybe a slightly misplaced D mint mark or a tiny doubling in the letters, can multiply the value of a penny thousands of times over. Now, let's step back into history for a moment. The Lincoln penny has been in continuous circulation since 1909, introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The Denver Mint's reputation for high mintage numbers continued in 1994, but during that year, a few minting errors slipped through. Coins struck on unplated planchets, off-center strikes, or coins with partial designs. These rare mint state survivors are the ones that became legends in coin collecting communities. When collectors talk about a top Liberty coin, they're referring to coins that carry historical importance, rarity, and beauty, and the 1994 D penny checks all three boxes. Some of the highest graded examples, in pristine mint condition with bright red luster, have been auctioned for huge amounts. In some cases, these coins have sold for over $7,000 to $15,000, and in very special error conditions or in private collector exchanges, prices have gone up into the hundreds of thousands. One ultra-rare, perfectly preserved 1994 D Lincoln penny with a dramatic die crack and strong strike reportedly sold for an unbelievable $787,975, making it one of the most valuable Lincoln cents of modern times. But how can you tell if your 1994 D penny is one of those valuable ones? Start by checking the D mint mark under the date. Look closely at the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. If you spot doubling, uneven edges, or strange fading, you might be holding a rare variety. Also check for off-center strikes, unusual coloring, or any visible cracks in the coin's surface. Those are all possible indicators of a valuable mint error. Using a magnifying glass or a coin loop can help you see the fine details clearly. Collectors often search bank rolls, old jars, and inherited coin collections for these gems. Even a simple coin in average circulated condition could be worth a few dollars today, but one in uncirculated mint state with full red luster, that bright copper shine, could bring in serious money. Prices change with time, and as the number of top condition coins decreases, demand rises. That's why it's important to store your valuable finds properly. Use coin flips, capsules, or airtight holders to protect the shine and prevent damage. Now let's talk about the coin's design a little more, because every detail tells a story. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln's timeless portrait, a symbol of honesty, integrity, and freedom. The reverse side, during 1994, still carried the Lincoln Memorial design, which had been introduced in 1959. If you look carefully at the back of the coin, under a magnifier, you can even see a tiny seated figure of Lincoln inside the memorial, one of the most subtle and impressive details of U.S. coin art. These small design touches are what make collectors fall in love with coins like the 1994 D penny.as. For the composition, this coin is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, a change that began in 1982 when copper prices rose. That means the outer surface has that classic copper color, but the inside is zinc. However, some rare transitional errors from that era were struck on pure copper planchets, and if you ever find a 1994 D penny that weighs around 3.11 grams instead of 2.5, it could be a major rarity, possibly worth thousands or more. The beauty of coin collecting is that it connects you to history. Each penny has traveled through countless hands, seen decades of life, and still carries the face of one of America's greatest presidents. And when a coin like the 1994 D Lincoln penny suddenly makes headlines for selling near the $1 million mark, it reminds us that treasure can exist in the most unexpected places, maybe even in your pocket right now. If you've ever dreamed of finding something truly valuable, remember, the next time you check your spare change, look closely at your pennies. Pay attention to the date, the mint mark, and every tiny detail. You might just uncover a hidden fortune that others overlooked. The world of numismatics is full of surprises, and every collector starts somewhere. Sometimes, it's with just one coin that sparks a lifelong passion. So keep your eyes open, your magnifier ready, and your heart excited for the next great discovery. Who knows, your 1994 D penny could be the next top Liberty coin everyone's talking about. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to keep discovering rare and valuable coins with me, don't forget to subscribe to Coins, tap that red subscribe button below, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our latest treasure hunt. Share this video with your friends, comment below if you found a rare coin recently, and join our growing community of collectors who know that even the smallest cent can be worth a fortune. This is your host from Coins, reminding you, every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth more than gold. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep searching for those hidden gems. See you in the next video.